Welcome. This is Pineleaf Neal's Skirmisher of Middle-earth. While we wait for January and the start of the second season of Skirmisher of Middle-earth, we'll have a little interlude where we'll see what changed over in the Helm's Deep expansion. I am just logging in for the first time on this character since the launch of Helm's Deep, and let's enter into Middle-earth and see what happens. Well, it's a bit late to pre-purchase now, I think, because the expansion has been released. And let's see what little surprises there are in for my Hobbit. As soon as it finishes loading. The bar is full at least, though, which means it shouldn't take too long. Here we are. Now it says that here I have some new deeds. Class deeds tier 5. There are 8 tiers of these deeds that are in there. And I'm wondering how many are done. Let's first see about that. Deeds completed. So now it's trying to keep track of which ones I've completed and which ones I still need to do, and according to this I have completed tiers 2, 3, and 4. But none of the others. You'll see why that's important in a moment, but the idea there is that I've completed 3 of them of the 8. Now also I have some new mail. There's always a little bit of new mail with every expansion. Here's the mailbox. Now in this case it's just saying that epic battles await, and it's telling us to go to Bree if we want to do the tutorial. And I'll do that in our next episode. It doesn't start a quest like it does with skirmishes, so I can just delete the mail since I know what it reads. Well, I still get a Hobbit present. I might as well see what's in that for today. Large pile of silver scraps. Well, nothing's really changed there then. Still getting silver for my Hobbit presents. I'm doing all this while I see the fun little deed unlocked, deed completed, deed unlocked, deed completed, deed unlocked,
the boundaries of
deed
Khazad-dûm
completed.
will soon burn brightly once more.
The grand tradition of a new expansion. Very well. Alright, I got a few turbine points. Awarded 65 turbine points for all these deeds that are being completed up here. Now the most important thing is to let's get my specialization in. Alright, here's the new trait tree panel. You just open it up through the same method as before by hitting the trait button, which I have at that location. Now here are my virtues. I can see my virtues here. I can change them without going to a bard. Just seeing if they're empathy. Let's see. So far I have charity. Let's see. Patience and innocent. That's a pretty low innocence for a Hobbit. I obviously have skipped a few deeds along the way. I'll have to make that up at some point. But the ones that you have equipped are both shown with the extra mark here as in the old version, plus are also shown here. Racials. Alright, I don't have Virtuous Hobbit, and I don't have Hobbit. Now I can get Virtuous Hobbit without any trouble. I could just go to the Matham House. I should do that since I am kindred with them, and that's how you get that. Though that's for idealism, empathy, and honesty. I do have idealism equipped, but none of the other two. So the question is, do I need one of the others? Well, I am keeping Hobbit silent. Return to Mickle Delving. That's one I generally keep. Now, one of the changes here is you no longer need travel rations. So this is going to be obsolete, since I could just sell these since they're pretty much vendor trash now. Guile and Conviction, Hobbit Stealth, Hobbit Stature. Well, Hobbit Stature isn't as important as it used to be because now I'm based on agility rather than might, but it could still be useful for things like blocking. Guile and Conviction, really? I don't need that. I don't really need that. So next time I go to the Matham house, I should get Virtuous Hobbit and swap it in and place a Guile and Conviction. But the main thing here is the panel here where I could choose my 3 major trait lines. Now I'm going to create 2 of them since I do have 2 of them that I can get at no cost. The third one will cost, I'll just see what the price is, but 100 mithril. I can buy it if I want, and I don't have too much else to do with the mithril coins. But the question is whether or not I really want to do anything with this line yet. And this is for clever tactics to harm and hinder foes. Like this one here. Makeshift caltrops. Improve hampering javelin now slows multiple enemies down. But since I'm doing skirmishes, and usually skirmishes work better, I think, from determination and recklessness, and the salient line isn't going to help me all that much. So therefore, I'm unlikely going to be using that at the moment. Now, okay, in determination, I'll just build up mainly on the blue line, War Cry, for evade rating, and Persevere Gambit line. Now, first of all, how many points do I have? Now, the number of points I have are dependent on several factors. The first one is how many levels you have gained. I would expect to have 24 from levels, and that is because you get your first one at level 7 and then every 2 levels after that. So I could just take your current level minus 5, divide by 2, round down, and that should be the number of points you get for that. So that would be 24 at level 53. Now, I would also get 1 for each legendary trait that you would have unlocked under the old version, which would have been the 3 book deeds and the 45 class quest would each have gotten 1. The others don't unlock until level 56, so obviously I don't have any of those yet. So therefore, that gives me 4. And as I said earlier, I completed 3 of those set meta deeds for the class traits. So that is 24 plus 4 plus 3, which is 31. So that is the number that I would expect at this level. So for determination, let's add a little bit extra healing and damage for the Persevere line. Looks like would be nice. Warden's Challenge, which gives me Defiant Challenge. And that forces nearby enemies to attack, allows the Warden to damage all attackers after each blow. So it gives a reflect on that. I guess we'll take that, and we'll take a little bit block rating bonuses here. Now here, some extra light damage, which if I was heavy into tanking, I might be putting the defenses more of a priority. But determination for me just means that I'm soloing something that's tough, so I want to have a little extra defense in those cases. So, alright, and then we have unassailable. Alright, counterattack. On evade or partial right, you gain... Oh yeah, masteries can be reset in such cases. That's always nice. And increases the heal of restoration and blocking rating of celebration of skill. That never hurts. And all three of these are one-pointers here. Now you get this for every 5 ranks you have. So therefore, since I was at 31 is how many goes, therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can get up to the exaltation in battle, but I won't be able to get the end one, revel in combat, until I get a few more ranks. That'll be either 8 more levels or complete some of those deeds or do those legendary trait unlocks. All Gambils are now perform a morale tap on the enemy. So that would be one I'd be shooting for. So most likely I'm going to be pouring into the determination line until I unlock the end of the tree here. And these start at 5 unlocked until 35. And these are the things that are unlocked through the store in place of the trait slots that you unlocked in the past. So therefore, since in my case I'm VIP, I had all the traits unlocked, therefore all these were unlocked immediately for me. Alright, so I will want unassailable there. Let's get some thick skin. Oh, actually I can't unlock that. I need 2 more points. So we will add that in. Alright. This is for my healing hot pulses. I might as well go those as long as possible. Get a little critical defense here. Thick skin, yes, alright. Alright, here you give up evade in favor of better block and parry. That will probably depend on what your situation is. For example, if you're hitting cap on evade, then you might be willing to bring that down a little bit, but for the moment I'm not going to go into that one. Never surrender, minus 300 second never surrender cooldown. Definitely want that one. And then at the end for the free peoples, which gives me, actually I have only 1 point left. Earns the skill free for all people, enabling you to buff your fellowship. Well, if I was going to be in fellowships commonly, that would be a good one to have. But in my situation, where I'll be doing mostly soloing, I think I'll do this for now. If in a couple of levels I start to need to be able to be in fellowships more, then I could start adding to that one. Now I did not put anything into either of these trees since I'm trying to push here as fast as possible. Now putting points into here, getting ranks into here, will still build toward this. The trouble is it costs 2 points per rank here and only 1 point here, so I'm going to do it that way. So therefore I'm going to rename this to defensive and apply it. And there I am. Now let's go to the other tree. Now this one's going to be recklessness. And I am going to be pumping into offensive stuff, bleeds and basic strikes. Grants Onslaught the ability to consume bleed for power of attack and deal AoE. Well, we'll see how that works. I'm not going to explain everything that's in here or that, because I'll probably learn that offline so I get a better idea of how everything works. The idea here is to just pump in as much stuff to do damage as possible. Now this one also has a light skill damage bonus. So both of these have light skill damage bonuses that you can get into there. So that way, in order to get the bonus, you don't have to dip into the other tree. Here we go. And now we got DOT critical. Yeah, I am just going to really emphasize the recklessness side for this one and have very little outside until I'm all the way through. On determination, I'll probably start bringing a little bit of recklessness stuff after I hit the 35 mark. Alright. And now, let's see, deep wounds. Yeah. Let's try. Alright, I need one more down here before. And now here, recklessness just gives you is an all-out attack. When you press this, you get 20 seconds of doing more damage, but lowering your defenses. That would be an interesting thing to try. I don't know if I'm going to use it that often, but we'll see. And I'll rename this to offense. And when you hover over this, defensive, offensive, I should use the same style for that. And we apply that. And whenever you switch, it'll change the skills down here. I didn't want social, I wanted to quick thoughts are off right now, so that's fine. I want to be able to put these things where I want them. Alright, like never surrender. This is where I put my oh no skills. Well, I don't use these. These are the Hobbit present pots. I don't use them that often, and the regular pots, they come up through buff bars. Alright, here is first aid, that's always useful, and steadfast. Now, steadfast is nice. It helps to shake off a daze or stun, while first aid helps to get rid of wounds and diseases, which is quite useful. And that's only on myself, though. It helps to self-reliance of the warden a little bit. Now here's the defensive stance. I can go into assailment stance still, throw a few javelins, then come back out if needed. Hobbit stealth is there with careful step. Battle prep. Alright, all this. They changed the ambush icon. And here's reckless. Oh, because I'm in recklessness right now. Yes, of course. Let's see how that works. Now, this is where everything stands for this stance. Now, if I just click on this, it'll switch me to... It'll switch around my icons, and I get warning shot in place of the one that breaks through the shield. Right, hampering javelin. No, that's hampering javelin. The... Oh... Shield piercer, yes, shield piercer. So you can see you can just go back and forth between one and the other. And here, Defiant Challenge is here. Ooh, that is, okay. That's an interesting little item. And for that time period, I reflect damage. So I could use that on occasion, and 20-second cooldown. Here we have Never Surrender. Now this one stays up until it pops, because now you can see that it's counting up instead of down. But once it does pop, you have to worry about things like cooldowns and stuff like that. I'll see what happens in practice, or whether or not that's misleading. But that's all we want to see here. Alright. But for now, we'll take that stance. Alright, deeds bestowed, completed. Alright, now legendary item reset. Alright, well, I'm not going to show you everything I'm going to do on the legendary item side, so I will just pump the most important item things into it. Worry about the well, actually, yeah, that's all I had point for anyway, so down here, ambushing, careful step. That's always my first thing I put points into on my javelin. I know I don't have the patience for waiting 5 seconds for an ambush to take place. And now I go into the DPS afterwards. I'm sure a lot of you out there have different priorities on the matter, or don't even care about that particular. Alright, that's all I need to worry about there. I can sell these travelers things later, but we want to see how this works in practice. And that's why I'm here in Dolphin View. I'm going to try the training hall, which seems appropriate in that I'm going to be training myself
Stay a moment, friend.
for the new system. And all I have to do is bring an infused garnet to Fostar here. And I so happened that 5 of them dropped for me while I was questing in Eregion. They sort of drop like candy, so they're very easy to get. And it's a daily, so you can do it once a day. And there's another quest here that Bungir gives. Let's see. Boongear, whatever. And what I want from this is to get a title for my legendary item, since I'm just replaced my spear and it does common damage. Alright, so I tell him.
Well met, friend.
Yes. Now he tells me to talk to him since I brought him the thing. And finally, he will let me inside the instance, which is a solo instance. So once per day, each time costs a garnet. It's a level 54 instance. I'm level 53.
Many armies and forges of the dwarves lie dormant
And
in
it's
Khazad-dûm,
pretty
awaiting
easy
the
in
hands
order
of their
to
masters.
do it this
One
level. I've
such
never
has
had
been
trouble doing
claimed
it
by the
at
orcs
this
of
level
Moria
before.
for a training hall. If the forge is to see service again, the orcs must be driven forth.
I don't know what determines now what masteries you get. That's an interesting question. I guess I will find out soon enough. Alright, well, good old kick still works. Burglar's Dagger the Third. They also like dropping legendary items in this place. Here's the Taskmaster. Yes, I guess the cooldown on that is a little bit. What's the cooldown on this right now? 45 seconds. Yeah, I normally have a reduced cooldown that I'm used to from the old system. I will presume that the trait needed in order. Okay, yeah. I forgot to lock my. That's never a good idea to forget to lock your thing. Well, fortunately, I don't use that one too much yet. Well, until I hit something with corruptions. I don't think I'll need it for this instance. I don't think anyone has any corrupt... Oh, actually, no. The boss has a corruption. First aid myself. Might be a little faster to pot it, so that might be an advantage of using a pot for something like this, but we'll save on quite a number of pots, just hitting first aid whenever I get a debuff on me. And the cooldown is 5 seconds, so I can use it quite often. Oh yeah, I don't have... My favorite javelin skill is no longer available. The Javelin of Deadly Force. That is way at the end of the assailment line. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. Alright, now let me... Since I had to wait for him to move away a little bit anyway. Where are those masteries? Alright, I want shield and spear. Yeah, that's the one I needed. And now this time, lock it. Once you get into there going mad, 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 mad. Let's see. Alright, couple of items dropped so far. Difficult drops for this particular instance, so that hasn't changed any. I didn't think much will change here. It's a level 54, but it is medium. But Dodger of the Watcher seems to be better for me. Ah! Too slow. So busy looking at my items that I missed noticing that he was starting. Alright. There he goes. A Warren's Javelin of the Third Age. 54. No, 53. Well, that's right. It must have come from one of the... It's only 53? Alright, 53 then. Well, Javelin isn't going to hurt, eh? So I'm also, I think I saw rusted tools drop, which are the really usual source for items, since you can choose whichever one you want when you get rusted tools. Alright, that's one side. Now let's get to the other side. Alright, got plenty of time for that. Hey, I like those bleeds. I have to get used to having fewer jab. Oh no! Ooh. I should pay attention whether he has the... whether he's the healing type or the attacking type. Since you have an icon to indicate which one they are. You have to be ready for an interrupt if he's the healing type. have my at least one interrupt there. I have to find out all the things that still happen. Yeah, interrupts, inductions, duration 1 second, cooldown. Alright. Now let's try our ambush here. Here is the boss. And he has a corruption on him that you have to keep going on, which is why I wanted to have that item back by this point. Well, that still interrupts, good. There we go, he's down. Bracelet of stamina. 14 vitality. And power regeneration. But it doesn't seem to be up to snuff with the others, even though I'm one level below the level needed in order to use it. Such the way of world drops. But that completes the training hall. And my demonstration of using the recklessness stance in the new system. I was thinking originally that... Thank you for letting me through. Originally thinking of switching back and forth, but it looks like I never needed to leave recklessness. That is a big change from the old version where I could never run recklessness whatsoever. Whenever I did, I was out of power and damaged so quickly
Well met, friend.
that I considered recklessness to be virtually useless. It is no longer useless from what I see here. Alright. Oh no, I don't want Shadow Master. I want Guardian of the Deep Halls. Alright. And I will apply that to my weapon. And that concludes the training hall. And I will continue an interlude going through the big battle system, which is going to start with my next interlude episode there. We'll run through all the big battles that I can manage to get through between now and the start of our new season in January. So until then, this is Pine Leaf Needles. May your shield protect you, and your spear never break.